These snozberries taste like snozberries. Hey guys, welcome back to Boogie Games. Jordan back at it again with another video today. I just wanted to talk about this really quick and say that I had a video ready and raring to go, and then on the day of we get more news. So I just said screw it, let's just combine them both into one video, and so I decided just to start from scratch and talk about both of them. So let's recap really quick on what's going on. So as I said, we got news from IGN yet again on another update for the new Halloween video games. It's more than I expected, 100%. Did not expect this type of game and this soon. So let's dive into that right off the bat here and say that this is not the game I expected. In my previous video that I filmed, I took a gander on what they both could be, was very hyped, and then it turns out I was let down, at least at first. But looking through things and letting that news run through me like a spoiled chalupa from Taco Bell that's just been sitting in the fridge for 3 days, it finally hit me that, this is a little bit refreshing. It's a callback in a way, kind of like the page itself, Halloween Portal. And for those of you who have not checked it out, definitely check it out, because that's how I found out about this right off the bat. It really does send you email notifications as soon as there's something to talk about. And it's very retro-y. Retro is not the word. Nostalgic. Early 2000s nostalgic. Very similar to its counterpart, Jason's Universe. Jason Universe. The Jason Universe. I don't know. I just know we could do better with the mask people.
How does this turn into this?
We are going to look at the trailer that I am playing now a little bit more in depth and say, it's going to be a game. It's definitely been made, and I bet there will be plenty of love into it based off what I've read from the article. The bits and pieces I've looked at, it does seem like they do kind of care about the franchise. Not kind of, definitely do care and want to make a great game. And I think they did okay with the Evil Dead video game. I enjoy it. But, with this, I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting what it's giving at face value. It's going to be more, it's definitely not going to be campaign driven. It's not going to be very story driven. There's going to be lores and bits and pieces. That's going to be cool. And it's in 16-bit, feeling for that nostalgia. But I don't expect groundbreaking work here. What I expect is a quick slasher game that, you don't have to get invested in. You just hop on for 15 minutes and kill some shit. I think that's what we're getting. And that's kind of cool. You had a bad day at work. You just didn't get that horse. You didn't get that donkey. And instead of getting right back up and eating that horse, you decide, I'm just going to kill some shit. That's your game. You hop on and say, I just got to slash some heads. It's going to be a solid game to play occasionally with your buddies. And, really just to really dive into after you play it once, though, it's going to be one of those that you can just kind of go back and just not really think about it and play again. That's what I'm taking away from this. And I'm definitely going to be playing it with you guys. And we're going to have a blasty blast with it. But at the same time, is it what I wanted? Not necessarily. But this could be good. This could be very good. I could get on here and be like, holy frick knuckles, this is way better than I'm seeing. Like, what the heck's wrong with me? But with that being said, what it has potential for and what they allude to here, now that is a different beast, Terry. And I'll tell you what, I'm here for it. Let's dive into this article. That way I just am not rambling. But I will say, if they are going the route that I think they are and what I'm looking at here, it could be what everybody has kind of wanted in the past, a connected universe. And it doesn't really affect anything mainstream, and you still get it and get those interactions. But let's move on here. And it says, Boss Team Games announced 2 16-bit platformers based on the Halloween and Ash vs. Evil Dead franchises. So, it kind of recaps here. To follow up on Boss Team Games' surprise announcement from yesterday, IGN can exclusively reveal the studio's next 2 games this October. In a press release, Boss Team Games announced Retro Realms, a new series of games for consoles and PCs. The first 2 games of this series is based on John Carpenter's iconic horror franchise Halloween and the Star's original series Ash vs. Evil Dead. So not Evil Dead, but Ash vs. Evil Dead specifically. And as you can see here in the trailer, there's definitely gameplay that looks solid for both, and they've apparently been working on this for quite some time because it is coming out this year. But it goes on to say, and I quote, "Everyone at Boss Team Games are huge fans of horror, and getting to work with these legendary properties is a dream come true," end quote. Boss Team Games CEO Steve Harris explained in a press release. Quote, "It has been an amazing experience collaborating with WayForward and our licensors, I don't know, I'm not an English teacher, to create not 1 but 2 fast-paced 90s arcade-style games while remaining true to the original horror film and Ash vs. Evil Dead series. The trailer dropping today gives fans a taste of the gore-filled gameplay and fast-paced action that we can't wait to show more." End quote. I don't know about the gore. I mean, as you can see here, like, yeah, there's blood there. There's colors of blood, I'd rather say, but I wouldn't go as far as calling it gore, Greg. Because, I mean, we've seen Saw. That's gore. That's gory. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's definitely gorier than some games. Like, if you compare it to a My Little Pony game, of course that's gory. But we go on to say here, both Retro Realms Halloween and Ash vs. Evil Dead, as depicted in the announcement trailer, are 16-bit platformers. Both games are coming to PC, PS5, Switch, and Xbox on October 18th. Both games can be purchased separately via digital storefront for $24.99 each, or you can purchase the physical double feature bundle with the retail of $49.99. So basically $50 you get both the games. Not bad. For what it is, I mean, that sounds about right with the market nowadays. I mean, I'm definitely picking them both up. We're definitely going to be covering both of them, and I think I'm going to have a good time with both of them. But it goes on to say here, although both games can be purchased and played separately, Boss Team Games highly recommend people to purchase both. As the studio notes in the press release, purchasing both will grant players access to new features. And then we see some screenshots here that we can sift through, and I mean, it's very basic, but it's very cool. It's a very basic 16-bit platformer, nothing too fancy. We've seen it before, but this is the first time we're going to see Michael Myers screw shit up like this, and I'm here for it. As I said, I think it could have been something different, but given what we have, I do think they messed up by releasing hints. You know, they drop a big bomb first of, oh, there's going to be 2 games, and one of them is going to have John Carpenter in it, and it's going to be an Unreal Engine 5 game. What they should have did was hint towards a game and then drop the trailer, since they were going to do it so soon anyways, of these 2 games, of Retro Realms. The article goes on to say here, the announcement of these 2 games is just one of many projects Boss Team Games currently has in the works. Yesterday, IGN exclusively revealed that it is also working on an additional game based on John Carpenter's Halloween IP. This game, which currently does not have a release date, will be running on Unreal Engine 5, and franchise creator John Carpenter is intimately involved, quote unquote, in the project. See, that's awesome. I am so hyped for that, and now that we're getting this, I'm not gonna lie, for me it raises the stakes a tad bit, given that we only have one other game after this. Now there could be multiple games with multiple other people before. Right now this is all we have officially confirmed. So for me, it's got the stakes. I want this to be a campaign-driven game. I would imagine they're going to, considering it is an Unreal Engine 5 game, but what do I know? For all I know, it is the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, or even the Friday the 13th game. Which, not knocking those games, I'm just, for Halloween, we need something story driven. For me. I would love, back in the day, we used to get best of both worlds. We get a campaign and then an online multiplayer mode, or just a multiplayer mode for local matches. Hook up your other Xbox controller, hook up your other PlayStation controller, and you play side by side on the couch. I don't know what happened. What happened? That's really all the news that we have for Halloween. For now, at least. I'm sure we will get news for the TV series that will be coming out soon. But I just kind of want to run my quick pitch by you guys on what I want out of a Halloween game. As I said, I want to be campaign driven. But, it needs to be a bit more than that. It depends on the route you go. If you go point of view, I really want it done Alien Isolation route. The Alien Isolation, this first person feel where Michael Myers is unstoppable. He's this unstoppable force of nature. No matter where you hide, he's going to find you. If you breathe or if you talk loud with a headset, he can hear you, he can find you, and you are just hiding, not hunting. I'll get to that in a second. You are hiding all over the place, all over town. You can go to different houses, but it's still a story-driven game that you are basically a part of. You are the final character, the final girl, the final guy, whatever the case may be. Different strokes for different folks. But you get to be the main character that goes up against Michael. And you can have all kinds of returning characters. You can have Dr. Loomis. You can have Laurie Strode if you want to bring her into it. You could have Sheriff Brackett. You can have Sheriff Meeker. You can bring him in. You can bring in all these old legacy characters that you love. And, of course, you can do it without actually bringing back the actors. You can have those. You can have, your Jamie. You can have Jamie Lloyd come back and be its own story. It could take place as a new original story. It could take place in between the movies. It could take place as its, aftermath of Resurrection. It could pick up right after 4. You could do many different story things with it, but it needs to be story driven. Another thing it's going to need is a mode to play as Michael Myers. I don't care what mode it's in, but we need to play as Mikey. We need Michael freaking Myers to be a playable option. Now, you can do kind of what they've done recently with Terminator. Of course, there's a main campaign, but you could also play as the Terminator in a special mode. That would be super cool. Now, my ultimate idea, though, is a third-person game solely campaign driven, right? Where you go around this open world of Haddonfield and you have two options. You can either, one, play as Dr. Loomis and follow the story as Suit. It's not a retelling of Halloween, and it can pick up right where Halloween leaves off. It can be its own original story that takes the best from each movie, whatever. That's not really important. The story needs to be good, yes, but the mechanics of the game, it needs to be solid. It needs to be like Arkham Knight. It needs to be like the Assassin's Creed game, this open world type of feel. You can go around to all the different houses. You, as Loomis, are searching for Michael, or the sheriff, or this new character, but searching for Michael, who's loose in town, and he is killing, and if you don't get on top of things, he will kill everyone in the flippin' town. So you go to the houses looking for clues, you work with the police. If you're Loomis, looking for clues, you look for signs, and while you're doing that, you can do side missions to find out more lore about Haddonfield. You can visit these classic areas like Smith Grove. You can go all the way to the sheriff's station. You can go, to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital that's there. It's Haddonfield. All these places are there, and it's there for you to go and observe, and it's all there for you to look at and interact with people of Haddonfield. You can, run into Michael. You have false appearances like the Ben Tramers running around, and it is Halloween. People are wearing the same mask. Especially if you have this in 1978, before Michael becomes as legendary across Haddonfield as he does. Anybody could be wearing a mask like that. It's a very popular mask at the time. He just got it from a store. He just got it at a store where everybody got their Halloween masks from. So you could just pick up right with that. And of course, if you do that, you also need a counterpart to where you can play the story as Michael. And for both of them, there are the main objectives where you go through the story, and it brings on cutscenes, there's a whole story with it. But in between that, you can just go on side missions. In Loomis, I just explained his. If you go with Michael, you can collect pumpkins. You can also kill anybody. But it comes at a price. It has to come with consequences. So to really make it worth your while, you can stalk. You can, look through the bushes and follow people and, have awareness of them being aware of you. And of course, if you get spotted and the word's out that Michael Myers is on loose and he has this description, you're going to call the police. But it's not like today where you have a cell phone, you call the police. It is the 1970s if it takes place then, and they have to run to a house or scream or alert somebody. And you can just kill people in broad middle of the street, broad daylight. But if you do that, you're definitely going to get the cops called unless you chase down the person into the house, kill them before they have a chance to call the cops. And of course, if they do end up calling the cops, you get a notification. Something similar to like they do in the Friday the 13th game.
Copy on the road therapy. 10-4-97.
And it could lead to a whole different direction into the new TV series and then expand upon the TV series into a new movie. That could be the route they go. There's a few different options to play with there, and it wouldn't be the worst thing by no means if it's this new Halloween cinematic universe. I know nobody wants to hear that right now. It's been done to death, but it wouldn't be the worst thing to have Michael Myers across all platforms and to have it connected. That would be something new for the Halloween franchise. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I feel like if it's done right, no matter what you do, it's going to be great to have Michael back on the big screen, the small screen, and then of course on your consoles. Whether it be, this new game with Boss Team at the 16 bits or the new Unreal Engine 5 game with John Carpenter involved with the Boss Team. I still think, though, if you were to do it, it needs to, because both of them are building off the original 1978 game, so you very well could have the game lead up into the TV show, or the TV show lead into the video game, and then a movie that's connected to both of them. That would be interesting. But I do think the video game may come out. It may come out after. It may. I think the TV show and the game are interchangeable. But the movie, I think, will be after both of them. If there is another movie, I think we are definitely going to eventually get another Halloween movie. It's inevitable. Michael is inevitable.
I am inevitable.
But with that being said, this has got me so jazzed up that I just want to make a whole new video. I think I'm just going to do that. I think I'm going to make a video for you guys of an in-depth of what I would like to see, a little bit more focused on, what we could do with a Halloween video game with this new one coming out with John Carpenter being involved. So I would love to hear from you guys. What would you like to see? What would you like to see John Carpenter do? What would you like to see, what level of involvement would you like him to have? What do you want to see? Do you want a campaign-driven game? Do you not? Do you want it kind of to be like the Friday the 13th game? Or do you kind of want it to be more like query, shit, frig, tits? I know what I want. It would be an open-world, campaign-driven, third-person game, in a nutshell. I'd settle for a POV Alien Isolation type of game that's still story-driven, or even a Quarry decision-based making game, Telltale decision-based making game that's still story-driven. For me, it's going to be story every time, hands down. But I'll take whatever I can get, and I'll be happy about it, as that saying goes, because at the end of the day, it's new Halloween content. We went years without anything at the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It was just a very, very depressing graveyard. And then, of course, there was rumors, and then we got 2018 Kills and Ends, and now we're back on a kick. And I think we're on the cusp of a slasher revamp, because we have Scream coming out with everything that they're going to come out with. If the rumors are true, which I'm thinking it's going to at least be this, we're going to have a new trilogy Not 100% on that, so that is a rumor. It's not been officially confirmed yet, but I think it could happen. A trilogy focusing more on Sydney, and then of course a spin-off movie, a spin-off TV series, and Ghostface is coming into Mortal Kombat, which for me opens the door for a Ghostface video game. A Ghostface video game would be fantastic. And of course, Jason's universe. He has a video game, a TV series in the works. My boy Jason is coming back. If we could only get those movie rights untangled, that would be killer. Pun intended. And of course, Michael Myers. Looks like we're going to get a new TV show, 2 new video games, hopefully a new movie. That would all be fantastic. So comment down below what you would like to see, and I'll take all your guys' ideas and toss them in and give my likes and don't likes on what I'd like to see and what we could do with a new Halloween game. With this, take our predictions and see if they come out to be true. Who knows? They just might be. Who knows? Someone totally isn't watching this, but they may, and use the idea. Hopefully so. I'd love to see some of these ideas implemented in the new Halloween game. Not the one coming out this year, but the one with Unreal Engine 5. That one, the one that's coming out this year, I'm going to take it as it is. I'm just going to have a good time with it. It's not supposed to be taken seriously and super invested in. It's a Halloween game. You're going to have a good time. It's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight.
It's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight.
Love you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you're still stalking the channel and choke the heck out of that notification bell and like button so I know what you like, what you don't like, and that you never are not notified when something new comes out. Love you guys. Bye.